Okay, this is, I think, Sunday the 23rd or the 24th of November. I was going to go to the Medieval Festival in Crowell Castle today, but it has rained all night, all very night, so I think I'll leave that. The Saturday was booked out. It was so busy at the Crowell Castle. I love that medieval weekend normally too. It's always so much fun. Okay, love you, my Inara. Love you, my Adela. Love you so much and miss you. Okay, this is Andy Pandy and the Patchwork Cat. Wow, this is book 21. This is a very, very old book. Okay, book 21. I guess that's Andy Pandy. And there's Teddy in the background. If you know Andy Pandy and Teddy in the background. Wow, here we go. He held up a piece of red stuff with white spots on it. There was a green piece too, with yellow stripes, which Teddy thought was very pretty. It's not big enough to make anything, he said, holding it up against himself. Well, it looks like a towel wrapped around him. Neither is this, Andy said. But if we sew all the pieces together, we can make something. Let's take the rag bag into the garden and think of something to make. And needles and cotton too, Teddy said, pulling a work box out of the cupboard. Okay, some of the pieces were very funny shapes, and one of them, with Andy Pandy pulled out, looked just like a flat cat. I know, he cried. Let's make a patchwork cat with red whiskers, Teddy said, and yellow and green tail. Well, he just found out what he was using all that yellow and green thing for. Well, keep this piece for the pattern, Andy said, and sew a lot of other rags together until we've got a big enough piece to cut out a cat. So all through the sunny morning, Andy and Teddy sat in the shade under a tree and sewed. And sewed. Oh, and sewed. Oh, there's Lulu in the background. Teddy's sewing wasn't quite as good as Andy's, as his stitches were rather big. But he was very pleased with himself because he was sure Andy couldn't have made a piece of patchwork without him. Look, he said proudly, my piece is as big as yours. Andy Pandy put both pieces together. Then he pinned all the pattern cat and cut it out very carefully. Then Andy began to sew while Teddy enjoyed himself cutting up rags into tiny little bits to stuff inside the patchwork cat. Oh, that does look like a shape of a cat, doesn't it? The patchwork cat looked splendid when it was finished. It had 3 pieces of red string on each side of its face for whiskers and a low yellow and green tail, just as Teddy had said. Andy Pandy found 2 green glass buttons for its eyes. Wow, have a look at that. That'd have been quite fun. And look at them dancing. The only one who didn't like it at all was White Kitty. Patchwork Cat. He fluffed out his tail, arched his back, and began to spit like an angry, very angry at it. Oh, who wants that nasty looking thing here, he said to himself. Andy and Teddy had got him. They don't want 2 cats. And then he flew at the patchwork cat and began to shake it from side to side until all of its patches were undone. Andy and Teddy didn't know about this because they had gone out shopping. What would they have said if they could have seen the naughty white kitten? Why should I have a pretty patchwork coat, he said. I'll put it on and see what it feels like. That's a weirdo, isn't he? Oh, good on him. As soon as the patchwork cat was quite empty, the white kitten got inside it and fitted his legs into the patchwork cat's legs. He couldn't fit his tail into the yellow and green tail because it had fallen off. The white kitten walked about a bit in the patchwork coat. Then he waited on the doorstep for Andy and Pandy and Teddy to come back. At first they didn't see anything different, but suddenly Andy said, "Didn't the patchwork cat have a yellow and green tail?" Suddenly the patchwork cat stood up and began to prance about. Then he ran to meet them. For a moment Teddy was quite frightened, as I would be too. But Andy Pandy had already seen some bits of the stuffing and he guessed what had happened. "Naughty kitty," he said. "You frightened Teddy and spoiled our beautiful patchwork cat." Then the white kitten was sorry and he helped to pick up all the bits of stuffing so that they could make the patchwork cat all over again. Well, look at the mess through there. And that's the end. When is this one? What year is this one made? 1962. Flipping me pancakes. 1962. I hope I got that in there and it wasn't not in the book. Okay, we'll stop that there.